Let's talk about bathroom remodels for a second. This house was built in 2008, and this bathroom is definitely not original. This tub is original, I'll give you that, and so is the faucet assembly and everything. However, all this tile looks to be brand spanking new, and so is this shower head. What I don't understand is when we're replacing all this tile, why we don't address this. That should be secured inside the wall cavity. You could do that before you put tile back on, and it would be an easy fix. Now, it's a problem. Next, you can see they redid the sill on this window, and the problem that I have with it, it slopes downward, and that's fine, but we didn't seal back here or in here. If you can see, we got these openings back over here. Now, I really wish this sill sit flush with the window so that we didn't have the window sit lower like this, but this can kind of collect water back over here. But now, since we didn't use any caulking or anything, we have an opening where water's just gonna get in the wall cavity. This poor gutter and downspout. God, where do I even start? I guess we can start with the fact that it's clogged all up with debris. This little tiny thing, I mean, really, I can't believe that we have just this little tiny gutter in this area. I mean, at least it should go all the way down to here, but whatever, it's this little tiny gutter, and it's completely clogged with debris. And then it is loose here, broken down here at the bottom. We don't have any type of splash block or any extension to prevent erosion, and so obviously you can tell that it's eroding this area. A couple of bricks down there is just not going to do the trick. I like what you're trying to do, but this isn't going to work too well. Look at this. New construction, we got a furnace here, gas-fired furnace. You got the flue right here. I want you to notice on the vent right here what it says, okay? It says a minimum 1 inch of clearance to combustibles. Combustible, stuff that'll burn. Wood. Wood is a combustible material. Now look at this. Furnace flue, the same one. We have strapped it in direct contact with wood framing. If you do this for a living and you think this is okay, you may want to consider another job. This is not okay. Oh, and by the way, you forgot your beverage. Check out this Heatilator electric fireplace. I always take the screen cover off of it so that I can access down here and check out the gas lines. Usually there's a way to turn this on down here. This one's actually operated by a switch over here. But before I did that, I checked the gas lines, and this is what I came across. With this issue going on, I'm not going to be running this gas fireplace today. It's not safe. So I shut the valve off, and that way they can come out here and fix this, and they can test it before the buyer moves in. I'm in the attic of a new construction house right now. Take a look with me and see what we got going on here. First up, this water heater. It's a Rheem 2023, but you can see the flue here is not installed properly at all. We got a complete separation going on here, and this is not secured in place, and so this is going to allow carbon monoxide to enter the attic space. Next up, we have this vent that actually does nothing. I'm confused as to why it's there. It goes out through the roof and into a bonnet vent. I saw it whenever I was putting a drone over the roof earlier, and so I know what it is, I just don't know its purpose. And we have an entire ridge vent along here, and so all along the entire roof. So I don't think that this is adding anything in terms of ventilation, and certainly that wouldn't be the termination that you would use at the roof level for any type of roof vent. We could use some ventilation along the bottom, but this isn't going to provide proper cross ventilation. And if this isn't going to be servicing anything, I recommend getting it out of here. This is the vent I was just talking about. This is the one I want to talk about now. This is the flue for the furnace. And you can see we got a lot of daylight coming through up there. That means that the storm collar is not properly sealed. When we see daylight, that is potential for moisture intrusion. We have some poorly run ductwork. You can see these ducts are on top of each other right here. We got that going on right there as well. Here, and then again, back over here. This can create condensation to build up in between the ducts, and it can literally cause condensation to drip onto the ceiling. These ducts should be suspended in a way that provides 1.5 inches of clearance between the two ducts. If we can't achieve that like today, then they're fine to throw some bad insulation in between there and just keep those separated a little bit. Doing my thermal scans on this property, and I came across this. You can see the ceiling here in this area is a much different color. Want to know why? Because it's much cooler. This usually indicates missing insulation. Let's go in the attic. As we pop in the attic, it looks okay at first. I mean, something looks a little disheveled. But as we get further back over here and look in that area, we can see that we're missing quite a bit of insulation in the exact same pattern that we saw with the thermal camera. It's important to remember in a home inspection, it's not always about what we find. Sometimes it's about what we don't find. Check this out. So clearly I am in a bathroom, right? Okay, do you see anything missing? That was kind of fast. I'll slow it down. Let's do that again. Let me know if you see anything that is missing. All right, hopefully some of y'all got it. Let me know if you did, but what's missing is an electrical receptacle next to this sink. The code requires an electrical receptacle within 3 feet of each sink basin. It can be on the wall or it can be on the cabinet, but you can see we don't have one for this sink right here. They don't want you plugging in your hairdryer over here and draping it across the sink in order to use it. This is not an old house. This is not a remodeled house. This is a brand new built house. And obviously this was missed. So hopefully now that I've found it, they'll come through here and fix this because it is not in code compliance right now. As a licensed home inspector in the state of Texas, it's important to remember that it is not my job to enforce code or to hand out any type of violations. But it's important for me to have a vast knowledge of code so when I find issues like this, I can bring it up to the builder and then come out here and get it in compliance. Proud moment here. So proud. But why am I proud? Because when I arrived on this property today, the homeowner told me that she came out here herself during the winter before it froze and covered and drained her backflow preventer for her sprinkler system. And she told me she came out here about a week or so ago and uncovered it and turned it all on just to make sure everything was okay. And it's all fine. It's all good. There's no cracks. There's no leaks. I said, well, where did you learn to drain and cover your backflow preventer? She said, from your videos. She must have done a really good job too, because look, there is no leaks. Everything's back on. There's no leaks. There's no cracks. I can't feel anything. I can't see anything. She's in good shape. She doesn't have to spend any money repairing this. This is why I make that style of video, is to try to train people on how to do this so they don't have to spend their money making these repairs. She followed my advice, and sure enough, she's good to go. I've already seen several of these this year that did not exactly follow my advice, and they're now busted, and they're going to have to be replaced. But this one right here did exactly what I told her to do, and she is good. So I'm super proud. I'm proud to put out that video and help you folks. Really glad of her for taking care of this. I've said it before. It's not always about what I find, but what I don't find. Take a look around this bedroom. Let me know if you see something missing. You see anything? See anything missing? What about now? You see something missing now? Yep, they drywalled over the air supply to this bedroom. This is why you need to get your new construction house inspected. Nobody noticed this. No idea why. Yep, I got fancy tools, but I didn't use this to find it. I mean, I used it to locate it, but I walked in here and didn't see air supply. It's elementary. Just use your eyes and your brain. I'm looking at a house right now, a new house with stucco exterior here. Now, it's important for you to know that stucco and moisture are mortal enemies, okay? It's very important to keep moisture out of your stucco, so everything really needs to be flashed and sealed properly. And everything looked pretty good until I got over here to these windows. Now check this out. These 3 windows, I'm up here on this upper section here. These 3 windows didn't get any sealant around them at all, not anywhere. And that's going around all 3 of them. Some areas are wider than others. Yeah, it's not quite as wide. It's got stucco in there, but that's certainly not going to keep moisture out. And I can't see, the crack's not big enough between the window frame and the stucco exterior here for me to see if it is properly flashed in there or not. But it sure doesn't look like it. And I know we haven't done anything to seal it. Stucco is just not a great choice for exterior in my area. We get entirely too much moisture in the form of rain or humidity. And if this hasn't been taken care of like perfectly on the inside of this wall, it's going to leak. And honestly, if it hasn't been taken care of on the outside, I don't trust that it's been taken care of on the inside either. Those are the windows we were just looking at, and here are some other ones, and you can see that these actually have been sealed. This is what it's supposed to look like. Sealant all the way around. Check it out. You forgot something. You forgot to put insulation up here. This is the living space. No insulation. Wall insulation. No insulation on the attic floor. Here's the other attic access. Look at this. We got insulation. That means, no, I wasn't here too early. They missed it. They forgot to put insulation over that area. Here's the difference with the thermal camera. Check this out. You can see we got about 73.9, about 74 degrees. There's an attic access right upstairs over there. That's the one we were in just a second ago. And the other part of the attic we were looking at with no insulation, you can see is 82 degrees. Not good. I want to show you something. Look at this.
This is a screenshot video of the weather that was going on the day I did the inspection. Now, as we scroll down here to the humidity, we can see that it's 78% humidity outside. That's pretty high.
Coincidentally, inside the house, when you look at the thermostat, we have 73% humidity inside the house with the AC running at 65. I'm thinking it might have something to do with this. This is the fresh air intake for the HVAC system. Let's see how often it's running. 45 minutes per hour. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's pretty excessive. And that's probably pulling in a ton of humid air into the system, and it's more than the system can handle. Now, some people think you should just unplug this and not use it at all. I disagree with that. The system is in place for a reason. It is there to dilute toxins that are in the air. And so I think it's a necessary system, but usually when they're running good, they're at about 6 minutes an hour, not 45 minutes an hour. This should have never been set that way. But I want to emphasize that running at 45 minutes an hour is not good. It is going to cause problems, and this should have never been done this way. Whoever installed the system should have never put it at 45 minutes an hour. What's up, folks? Today I'm looking at a property that's about 7 years old, and we're gonna look at the roofs. Come check it out.
The first thing I want to show you is impact damage. This looks to me like it could possibly be hail damage. You can see these irregular dimples in the shingles, these little black spots where the granules have fallen off. It looks like it could be hail damage, definitely some type of impact, and I definitely recommend that it get looked at by a professional roofer to determine exactly what's going on. And it's not just these spots that I'm pointing out. It's going on much of the roof surface. This is definitely something that could possibly be a claim. It just needs to be looked at by a roofer to determine if it's claim worthy. On to some other things. We have some exposed fasteners underneath this dryer vent. You can see the caulking is worn off on these. They will rust out and eventually create a leak. The same thing's happening on this plumbing boot, although we're already seeing some rust. You even have some at the ridge cap shingles going on up here, the caulk is starting to disappear on these. This is starting to pull away. And you got to look closely for these rusted nails. They can hide, but here's a nail that's out of place. It's not covered by the shingle above it. This is already starting to rust and might leak one day.
This is why I'm here, to look at the roof as well as all of the rest of the house and try to find any problems that exist so that you know what you're buying.